All right, in this particular video, what we're going to do is we're not going to do this by hand. I'm going to show you guys how to use a matrix to be able to solve this in your graphing calculator. Another video goes over how to do it by hand, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to show you how to do this with the calculator using a matrix. Now, in order for this to work, it has to be in standard form in order for this to be able to work. Now, if you're a math teacher, please don't um, add a negative comment because right now I'm just trying to make sure these kids know how to solve systems of equations somehow. So please don't look too down on me. I've shown them how by hand, but just because I've shown them by hand doesn't mean that they get it. So I got to make sure they know how to do it at least one way, all right, versus know that they're just not going to be able to do it by hand. So right now, you'll notice that our equation right here says 5x plus 12y minus 10 equals 0. And then the one that's directly below it is 2x minus 3y plus 35 equals 0. Now these are not in standard form. They're very close to being in standard form. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take this negative 10 and I got to take this positive 35 and I got to move them across the equal sign. So there's a couple ways of doing it. You could just say I'm going to add 10 to this side and add 10 to this side. Or I'm going to take 35 from this side and take away 35 from this side. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to just throw it across the equal sign. Just chuck it right across the equal sign and just know that whatever you do, when you throw something across the equal sign, it always becomes the opposite of whatever you had before. So if it was negative, now it's positive. If it was positive, now it's negative. It's very easy. So let's rewrite our equation in standard form. So here's our first equation. We have 5x plus 12y equals 10. That's now in standard form. And then we have 2x minus 3y equals negative 35. That's also in standard form. Now we're going to build a matrix, and the matrix that we're going to build is going to look like this, and we'll do it in the calculator. It's going to be a 2 by 3 matrix, okay? And we have to literally write it in order. It's going to be a 5, a 12, and a 10. Now where did I get the 5, the 12, and the 10? I got the 5 from the A value. I got the 12 from the B value, and I got the 10 from the C value. Then right underneath it, I'm going to write 2, negative 3, negative 35. Now, where did I get the 2, the negative 3, and the negative 35? There's the 2, there's the negative 3, there's the negative 35. So you're using the A value, the B value, and the C value. So now I'm going to show you how to put this into a matrix. So you have your calculator, just turn it on. It's a TI 84 plus CE. All right. Now you hit second, and then you hit X to the negative 1. See that little blue word says matrix? That's what you got to do. And I'm going to go over to the right where it says edit. So we go to the right where it says edit, and I'm going to press enter. And usually, if I clear the calculator, it would just be a 1 by 1 matrix. Okay, a 1 by 1 matrix. So if you want to know how to make the size different, you want to make it a 2 by 3. So you press 2 enter in, 3 enter, and now you have a place for all of your numbers. So what do? I take a 5, 12, 10, and just write it in the matrix. 5, 12, 10. Right? Then I take 2, negative 3, negative 35. 2, negative 3. Oh, I did that wrong. You're not never use the minus sign when you're putting a negative in the graphing calculator. That would be bad. So I'm going to go back here and use the negative sign. Now it'll be okay. Whew, that was a close one. Did I do that on purpose? Yes, I just want to make sure you know which sign to use. All right. And then you put a negative 35. So don't use the minus sign when you're typing it in. Make sure you use the negative sign, which is right down there. Okay, so now we have it typed in. All right, so once you plug these in, I need you to hit second mode, which gets you to the blank screen. Now pay attention. Now you can always pause this and rewind it and get the steps again. That's what I do when I'm watching YouTube when I'm trying to figure something out. Okay, so here we go. Hit second matrix, which is that blue button, x negative 1. We go to the right where it says math. So you go to the right, you go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you choose reduced row echelon form. Now, I'm not going to be explaining to you today in this video what reduced row echelon form is, but it'll be very useful. Okay, I'm not going to be talking about, so use reduced row echelon form, and then hit second matrix and select the matrix right here, the A, select it, and this will give you your X value and your Y value. So check this out. This is what I want you to write down in your notes. Be very, very easy. So we have a 1, 0, negative 10, 0, 1, 5. So I want you to understand this number right here at the end is your answer for X. And this number right here is your answer for Y. Just remember, what form did we have it in? AX plus BY equals C. This is your X column. This is your Y column. This is your answer for X. This is your answer for Y. Reduced row echelon form reduces these to ones, okay? And that allows you to be able to trust that this is going to be your answer here and there. So I'm going to type in a negative 10 and a 5. That's your solution set. So as an ordered pair, it would be negative 10 and 5. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and type it in. Let's see here. So negative 10 and 5. Let's make sure I typed it in correctly. Negative 10 and 5. Then I'm going to scroll down here, hit check. Now this one looks very, very easy, but you do have to do a little bit of rearranging here. So let's take a look at this. This says 7y plus 10x equals negative 11. And that says 4y minus 3x equals negative 15. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to rearrange it and make sure you are in ax plus by equals C form. You'll notice these have been flipped. They've been flipped. So what I'd like you to do is put the 10x up front, the 7y in the back, and set it equal to negative 11. And here I'd like you to also flip these. Move the x up front, move the y in the back, and then set that equal to negative 15. So please make sure you have them in the correct order so when you get your answer, you won't misinterpret your answers. Okay, so we're going to do 10, 7. So my matrix that I got to build, here's the matrix that you build. So go ahead and write this down. You're going to build it as a 10, got it from there, a 7, got it from there, and a negative 11, got it from right there. This one you're going to have a negative 3, a positive 4, and a negative 15. So that's the matrix that I'm going to build right now. Now once you've built it once, it makes it very easy to go back and build it again. I'm going to hit second, x to the negative 1, go to the right where it says edit, press enter, and now all I got to do is press enter, enter, and now I just got to type in my new numbers. So what are my new numbers? 10, 7, negative 11. So I'm going to type in 10, 7, negative 11. Once again, make sure you use that negative sign, please. Bottom row, I'm going to type in a negative 3, a 4, and a negative 15. Negative 3, 4, and a negative 15. So negative 3, a 4, and a negative 15. And that's what I put in right there. So here's the good news. Once you type it in, you hit second mode, guess what? Now I don't have to do all those keystrokes. I can literally go up right here, grab it again, and that's why I'm doing two problems. Because once you've done it once, you can do it again. And check it out. This right here, it gives you your x value. Your x value is equal to 1, and your y value is equal to negative 3. So I got a 1 and a negative 3, and those are my solutions to this system of equation. All right, so we're going to type in a 1 and a negative 3, and that'll be it. 1, negative 3, boom. Okay? All right, so we're going to do one more, and that's it. All right, so here's the final problem that we're going to do. All right, so let's go ahead and write it down. It's always helpful to write things down as you're doing them. This thing is all jacked up like a football bat. So we're going to get everything in order. All right. By the way, there's no such thing as a football bat. I was just joking around, just so you know. All right. So this is not in the correct order. So we're going to get things in the correct order. So the first thing I like to do is I like to take this guy and chuck it across. All right. The next thing, after I check this across, that's going to be an 8, and that's going to be a positive 18 right there. So if I move that across, the equal sign becomes a positive 8, and I move that across the equal sign, it becomes a positive 18. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange these and put them in the correct order. Remember, it needs to be an AX plus BY equals C form. So here we go. We're going to take the 10x and we're going to move it up front. We're going to take the 7y and we're going to move it on in the back. And then we're going to set it equal to 8. And voila, I am done with my first equation. Then I'm going to take a look at this guy right here. Let's rearrange it. We're going to put the negative 5x up front. We're going to put the plus 2y in the back. And we're going to set it equal to positive 18. And now I'm ready to build my matrix. Now you can always rewind and see what I did there again if that doesn't make sense. So we're going to build a matrix. Our matrix is going to be a 10, a 7, and an 8. 10, 7, 8. And our second row will be a negative 5, a 2, and an 18. Negative 5, 2, and an 18. So now I'm going to type these in. So how do I type them in? How do I get them? Hit second, x to the negative 1, go to the right where it says edit, press enter, and just type in your numbers. So I have a 10, a 7, and an 8. So I'm going to type in a 10. Ooh, I already have it there. 7, I already have it there. 8. Okay. And then I have a negative 5, a 2, and an 18. Negative 5. All right. So we have negative 5, 2, and an 18. Now that I have the matrix built, now all I have to do is hit second mode. So let's say you accidentally cleared everything out. That's okay. You can still go up and you can still select it. Let's say you just want to see me do it from the very beginning. So let's say from the very beginning, how do you get to reduced row echelon form? I'll do it one more time. You hit second, x to the negative 1. You go to the right where it says math. Then you go up 5, a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5. And you press enter. And then you hit second, x to the negative 1, and you select matrix A, which is right there. So you select it, and you press enter, and you get your answers. You're like, well, how do you interpret your answers? This is equal to your x value, and this is equal to your y value. So my ordered pair for the solution would be a negative 2 and a 4. That's your x value of the solution and your y. Now remember, this video was not the by hand way. I've already done that. You can look at another video that shows you how to do everything using the elimination method, which is my favorite method by hand. But this is how you could do it in a matrix. So we're just going to type in negative 2 and a 4, just so you guys know that I'm not lying to you. That's how you do it. See, it says great work. You got one. Good job. All right. Have a good day.